And we are live. Hello, welcome to today's little training session. You guys know I love to bring you cool tips, cool tools, cool softwares, and cool companies. Today we definitely have that. I have Mr. Steve Cunningham here, the founder of Grow It For Me and Read It For Me. These are two really cool companies that I came to know early 2021 and have really enjoyed looking at what they do. They are fantastic at helping online entrepreneurs who are targeting both C2C and B2B. So if you are a coach, a consultant, a business owner, if you're a course creator of any kind, and you're looking to predominantly work with entrepreneurs or people in particularly kind of like focused on leadership and development roles in the corporate space, not just restricted to that, but that's really where your strongest point is with these, then you're going to really want to know about Grow It For Me. And this is a tool, a system, a package. Steve's going to give us some more description. It's more than just a software. It's more than just a tool. That's why I'm going to get Steve to explain it a bit better than me. That is really going to help you generate more of those targeted leads in the entrepreneur space or in that corporate space. And today, Steve is going to take us behind the scenes to show us the tool, the software that he has that is going to enable you to put your leads on autopilot. And many of Steve's customers actually are bringing in tens of thousands of new leads a year using this methodology. So, Steve, it's great to have you here today. Thank you for staying up very late where you are. You're over in the US, for me in Australia. At the time recording this right now, it's nice and early in the morning. So thank you for coming, and we're looking forward to you sharing your screen today, going behind the scenes and showing us how we as business owners can get more leads and put them on autopilot. Welcome.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, excited to be here.
So tell us a little bit more. What is Grow It For Me? What are you as a business? What do you do? Who do you work for? Who do you serve? Why should we as entrepreneurs, online business owners, coaches, consultants, and course creators come to Grow It For Me?
Yeah, I think the short version is we've created a system from kind of beginning, top of the sales funnel, all the way through the end that helps folks connect with executives and entrepreneurs. So if you're looking, I think you've already said it in the intro, if you're looking to serve executives and entrepreneurs, we've got a set of content and also a platform that will help drive leads from beginning to end. And what we found in working with a lot of coaches, consultants, and solopreneurs, the hardest part is getting that machinery going. And even when you've got all the tech in place, the hard part is how do I create content that connects with the folks that I want to serve? How do we generate leads? And that's the code that we've cracked, and we're making that available to anybody who wants to join the Grow For Me community. So kind of that part at the top of the funnel that most people struggle with, we've figured out, and happy to walk you through it.
Yeah, and this is what I really, really like about this tool is basically you guys have created content that is going to attract that entrepreneur, that executives group of people, and we are allowed to use that content royalty-free, license-free. We can use that as part of the Grow It For Me funnel to collect our leads. So if you guys are looking to get more leads, but you don't have the time, you can't be bothered, or you don't have the joy in creating the actual content that's going to magnetize and attract people in the first place, you're going to love this because Steve-O and his team have done all the work, which is what I absolutely love. Look, let's not fuff around waffling about too much. We like action here. Steve, I know you're going to show us your screen and you're going to be giving us an actual look at what is Grow It For Me, how does it work, and how can entrepreneurs, business owners use your content to get their own leads themselves. Let's have a ganders.
Okay, yeah, so as I'm going through this, if there's any questions, please do interrupt me because I cannot see the chat as I'm going through this, but I'm going to just walk you through our story, tell you a little bit about our journey in creating Read It For Me, and then how that came to help us serve coaches, consultants, solopreneurs. So I'm the founder of Read It For Me. It's the #1 book summary service for executives and entrepreneurs. We have a very tight focus on serving that community. We take best-selling business books and turn them into 12 minutes audio, video, and text summaries. So if you got a stack of books on your nightstand that you feel guilty looking at every night before you go to bed, or it's on your desk at work, we take care of that heavy lifting for you and tell you, here are all the main points in those books. And we got a lot of great customers all around the world, ranging from solopreneurs all the way to Fortune 500 companies that we work with in their leadership development capacity. We got some nice names giving us great testimonials and all that fun stuff. And what I want to walk you through today is how I use our content to acquire tens of thousands of leads a year, build consistent engagement with value added content, and close customers consistently at scale. And brought it down into a simple 3-point plan we're going to work through here today. So, how to acquire leads with a lead magnet that has a 40 to 70% conversion rate, which
Nice.
is the part that most people get excited about. Then how to take those leads and build consistent engagement with them so that when they're ready to buy, you can close them as new customers. And we're going to talk about how to continuously close new customers, even if you don't have a product. And then finally, we're going to give you an opportunity to, at the end, steal this strategy, use our content to acquire leads, close new customers, and even create a membership community and a group coaching program if that's something that you want to do.
That's amazing.
Just a quick.
I just want to jump in on this because, we've got a lot of course creators listening today, a lot of people who are coaches and creating courses for entrepreneurs or that executive target group of people. And there is an average statistic at the moment that the average conversion rate of an opt-in, of a lead magnet on a sales page is between 1 and 13%, right? So I know that's quite a big range, but that's kind of the average out there. So the fact here that this lead magnet, these lead magnets, because you have multiple, these pieces of content that you're creating, that you are giving to us as part of this package, is converting up to 70%. I mean, that is absolutely insane. So we're talking, more than a 50, 60+% increase in our conversion rate. So that works out to a hell of a lot more clients than most of us are getting on our own at the moment, and all just for stealing your content and using it as part of this Grow It For Me system. I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, am I allowed to bring you everywhere I go? You're making the pitch for much better than I ever could. Yeah, I think and just to be clear, it'd be like 6 or 7 times, not a 50 or 60% increase. So we'll go through this as we go through the presentation. We came into this by accident. So it's a world-class conversion rate. We found it by accident. We tried to beat it for several years, cannot beat it. And yeah, it's hard to give away money at a conversion rate that high. So we just got lucky, but now we're gonna give you the ability to be lucky as well. So yeah, so I'll just keep walking through. Interrupt me whenever you've got a question, or whenever you think I'm not talking about this clearly enough. So like I said, this is a tactic that we were actually very reluctant to use. This wasn't something that I wanted to do. Glad I did. We'll talk about why that helped us generate 30,000 leads in 1 week, how to build this consistent engagement. I'm going to talk about how this has helped me build relationships with busy entrepreneurs and executives, and in particular tell you a story about how it got me introduced to a billionaire who eventually became a mentor and an investor in our business. And then finally, how to close these new customers. You're generating these leads, you're building relationships with them, and how do you close them in a way that doesn't send them away, but gives you multiple opportunities to close them over the time that they're in your email list or in your community. And it's going to be the thing I'm going to share with you at the end is by far the most important thing I've learned from 10 years of experience running a digital business, and before that running a digital marketing agency. Something that most people end up missing. It's a pretty straightforward learning, but I'm going to explain it to you in a way that hopefully you can go and execute immediately. And then, like I said, give you an opportunity finally to steal this strategy. One of the things that all of our Grow For Me members tend to say was something along the lines of, I was stuck in the starting blocks, I was trying all the stuff, and now I'm finally in motion and getting results, generating in some cases 5 figures a month almost immediately. So what we've created works. But first, before we get to that, I got to tell you just a little bit about how we got here, so you have a tiny bit of context for how we created this system by accident and how it all fits together. And I want to share with you the insight I gained from my billionaire business mentor that kind of made the shift to helping us understand how to generate those types of results. So I was actually trying to create a marketing agency when we started Read It For Me. My claim to infamy was that I was a lawyer for exactly 1 week. This is a true story. for another day. But I joined the family business coming out of law school, and my stint as a lawyer for exactly 1 week. And as I like to joke, if law school does a bad job of preparing you to be a lawyer, it does an even worse job of preparing you to run a business. They do not teach you how to run a business in law school. So I did the only thing I knew how to do is I ran out to the bookstore back when we still ran out to the bookstore, and it's not something we do anymore. And about as basically cleared out the business book section. And I copied what I did in law school, which was I read all the books, but I would then went through and summarized the main points because that's just what you did through law school year over year for 3 years. And I was
Absolute book
inspired.
addict here. I can relate to that. I think I've learned more from some, $25 books than I've learned from $20,000 coaching programs. I think people really underestimate what's available to them, at their fingertips. I'm always saying to people, you've got the free Kindle app on your phone. You can get half of these books for like $2, and they are absolutely transformative in your business. This is why get someone to read it for you. It's what you can learn in 15 minutes from a book summary can be more than what you can get from a year's worth of coaching in some instances. I'm certainly not saying that's the case all the time, but I certainly find that reading and books, the power of them, underestimated. Absolutely, go to the bookshop, people.
Absolutely, yeah. It's certainly easily the most underrated place to get a world-class education. As I was reading these books, though, I was inspired to create a marketing agency because the people who were writing the marketing books tended to be a lot more interesting than all the other people. So this is not a good way to choose the next thing you do in your career, but that was how I made the decision. So I created a marketing agency, and at the time, I had about a few thousand followers on Twitter. If you go check it out now, I have roughly the same amount of Twitter followers through lack of engagement. But at the time, that was enough to qualify me as a speaker on the topic. I was a quote unquote expert. I was going to do keynotes at conferences and all that fun stuff. And out of those sessions where I was presenting, it was super easy to get meetings with BBs and CEOs because they wanted to know, how do we use this for our business? And but it was very difficult to close deals at the time because nobody wanted to be the first to invest in an unproven medium, which social media marketing at this point was a very unproven medium. There's a lot of hype, not a lot of case studies to back it up. So that was my predicament. But in every one of the meetings that I was in, I noticed there was a stack of books on their desk, and I had invariably read one or two of them because I had gone to the bookstore and bought all the books and read them all. And so I would, try to do a little bit of sales 101 rapport building. And I would say, what did you think about this idea from that book or that idea from this book? And the answer back almost every time was something along the lines of, I wish somebody would just read it for me. I think somebody used that exact quote one time, and that's how we came up with the name Read It For Me. So we thought, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take the summaries that I was creating, we're going to turn them into animated video, and then we're going to send them out. People are going to pass them around. They're going to share them with their friends. It's going to drive traffic back to our website. It's going to create a lead, and we're going to create business out of it. Basically content marketing before anybody was doing content marketing. And so we sent it to 10 people. I think the first one we did was Book Winning by Jack Welch. You can see a screenshot there is Read It For Me #1. And that was the name of our agency at the time. It was called Polar Unlimited. 10 turned into 100, turned into 1,000. And all of a sudden we had this huge email list and people that were giving us, saying all sorts of nice things about what we were doing. Interviewed Dan Pink, I think around the time he did his book Drive, or it might have been one of his other books. I can't remember. So anyways, got some big business names to give us testimonials. Our first corporate client became Zappos. And at the time I had a podcast, and I asked Tony Hsieh, who unfortunately has recently passed away, can I interview you? Will you buy your service for your company? And that turned into our first corporate client. So things kind of just, one foot in front of the other. All of a sudden, this turned into a business. And at the time, we thought Read It For Me was going to be a service for people who wanted to be successful someday, people who were new into the workforce, had recently graduated, people like me, really, that needed to learn as quickly as possible. And what we figured out very quickly was that it was a service for people who already were very successful. The people who were signing up and paying for the service were executives and entrepreneurs, people that I wanted to become someday. And so, what we like to say is people that are in Forbes magazine versus reading Forbes magazine. And that actually got me access to some of the world's most successful business leaders. They answered my emails, they picked up my phone calls, and I learned a lot about how the world's most successful people learn. And it wasn't the same way that I had thought most people would learn. And one of
I
the
just want to
people,
jump in here, Steve, because what you've just picked up on there is something that comes up a lot with the people that we're talking to right now, is the way that you've discovered your niche, the way that you've discovered your audience there. So many people think that, okay, I am going to wait until I know who my niche are, who my niche target audience are, who that target group of people that I'm going after are. When I figured that out, then I'm going to put some kind of product out to the market. And I'm consistently saying, guys, you have to put something out to the market to find out who it attracts, because only when you have something out there can you see what the response is going to be. And my experience is really similar here. You put something out to the market thinking it was going to attract this group of people, but it was only because of the fact you put it out there that you worked out as a completely different group of people, and that helped you evolve your business. That helped you grow and change and adapt to a specific niche, which is ultimately what's behind your success. Mine was exactly the same as well. I was going out there thinking that I was talking to a particular group of curriculum developers, and it wasn't until I started putting my content out there that I realized it was a big, larger group of entrepreneurs. It's just really interesting that you mentioned that I think the message that I'm picking up here with somebody, you guys got this very successful company, put something out, and then your tribe will come. You will find who your tribe are when you put something out there. So that's amazing. Keep going. Sorry, I really had to pull that out there, because that's a big thing people struggle with, is niche. And with this lead generation here that we can use with Grow It For Me, this is going to add to that, uncovering who we're working with, who our market are. If we've got this content going out there, it's going to help us see who we're attracting.
yeah, that's a great point. I'll just add to that. It's the way I've described it is, it's like a dance, and somebody needs to go first. Somebody needs to ask somebody to dance, and it's this dance between your product and the market. And sometimes your product will change over time. Sometimes the market will change over time, but you don't learn anything until you start. And so, just like you are, both product and the market has changed and evolved over time. And so, I think eventually you need a niche, and that's good advice, but it's not a mental exercise, because whatever you think is correct is almost certainly not correct. And it's through the doing that you actually will find that niche. And that's what gets a lot of people paralyzed, is they think it needs to be perfect before they start. It's never going to be perfect. It's certainly not going to be perfect when you start, and you're never going to learn what your niche should be until you get started. So yeah, I'd keep encouraging people on that one, because if you wait until the perfect time, you're going to be dead, because there's never a perfect time to get that started. So there's a story I like to tell around these folks that I've been interacting with over the last 10 years. And one of our customers was a gentleman by the name of Graham Weston. He founded a company in San Antonio, where I am here tonight, doing this live stream. And I interacted with Graham as a customer, got to know him well. And one thing led to another, and moved my business and my family from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, down here to San Antonio to be involved in what Graham is building here in San Antonio, specifically the tech scene here. And as I got to unpack how Graham learns specifically, and this is kind of an analogy for how most of the very successful people that we worked with learn, is boiled down to, you can see here there's a screenshot of an email Graham that had sent me, because I was trying to ask Graham, how do you learn differently? And he had a very hard time explaining it. And he had clipped an article, and the heading is, if you're reading for growth, read to get answers on specific questions. So he was saying that I'm not reading just to read, if I'm reading to try to find an answer to a problem that I'm facing in my business or my life right now. So that was a very good insight. So it wasn't just like, go out and read all the books. It's go out and read the books that will help you immediately with whatever your most important problem is. And secondly, kind of down here, in the left-hand corner, it says, once you get enough of an answer to act on, stop reading and start doing. So the point of the learning is to go find something you can try and then go and try it and see if it works, and then keep repeating that process over and over and over again. And that's why for people like Graham, book summaries are so important, because you can find an idea to go try very quickly. And then if that ends up working, well, then you can dive deeper into the book, you can dive deeper into the courses or the consulting that that expert is offering. So that was a very big insight to me, just kind of just like we've been talking about around that niche, which is you got to get into action. And that's the entire point. And that's why book summaries are so important to them. So the insight I got from Graham, and this is something that has really stuck with me, especially around creating content for people. And I think this is the key for why we're able to get between 40 and 70% conversion rate on content, is that we help people remove steps from something they already want to do. And that derives from interacting with people. It's not something you can just invent off the top of your head. So you can understand, what are you trying to do? And people like Graham are trying to find answers to questions that experts have answered as quickly as possible. And so we remove a lot of the steps that they would otherwise need to do in order to get to those answers. So I think this is a good general principle for creating content that has a very high conversion rate, as it helps people go from point A to point Z as quickly as humanly possible. Okay, so that's a little bit about the background of how we got here. Now I just want to hop into the content quickly and walk you through these three main steps. So the first one is to acquire leads. And the story around this was, the first time we used it, it was actually by accident. And it generated for us 30,000 leads in a single week and got us a 70% conversion rate. So we had a large influencer that came to us and said, hey, can we offer a lifetime membership of your service to our email list? And they had a very, very large email list. I was super excited about this because we had done other affiliate promotions before, and they had worked really well, and times that by however many times large this email list was. And I was counting the increase in my bank account as we were going through that process. And at the last minute, though, I kind of took all the wind out of my sails and said, hey, we changed our mind. Can we offer a free year of your service as a lead generation tactic for our service? And my first reaction to this was, that sounds like a horrible idea. Why would I give away my content to you in order for you to grow your email list? Makes no sense to me. But at the time, we had another product that kind of was an adjacent product to Read It For Me, which was a training product. And we said, okay, worst case scenario, we have this, it was kind of a quasi mastermind, and we can at the very least try to upgrade people into that. And we can also try to sell them immediately the lifetime offer after that free year. So I said, we'll give it a shot. And worst case scenario, we learned something. It went very well, very, very well. We got a 70% conversion rate on that warm traffic. Here is the landing page we used on the right, and there's the email that went out on the left. And that generated us 30,000 plus leads, a lot of revenue almost immediately. And so ended up being one of the best learnings that we've had in the 10 years that I've been in business. And it was by complete mistake. So that is how we figured out how to generate these large amount of leads at scale, was by giving away a free year of our service. So then we thought, well, that worked for this one influencer. I wonder if it would work with conferences, chambers of commerce, with associations. Could we do cold outreach around it? Could we run ads around it? And so we tested all those things, and we got very good results on basically everything we tried. 40% conversion rate on cold traffic on different ad platforms. Cold outreach worked really well. We were booking multiple sales conversations per week just by reaching out to folks and saying, hey, in not too complicated a process, simply just reaching out to people, offering this for free. And that's getting us multiple sales conversations per week for product that we have that is a corporate, quasi-expensive project or product. So overall, it's generated us 6 figures in leads, lots and lots of revenue. Very happy with how that has worked. And if you stick around to the end, and I'm not sure what time limit we have on this live
Yeah, I
stream.
think we've got a maximum of another sort of 5-10 minutes left, and we'd love to actually have a look at what is this? Like, what do we do? What do we get? How do we do this? Like, it's cool seeing all these results that someone else is getting, but we'd love to know, how do we get hold of your content? How can we use it for ourselves? And how does this work? Like, what do we do to get these results ourselves?
Let me skip to the punchline then. So basically, you get to give away an unlimited number of full access memberships to Read It For Me as a lead magnet. Lots of great content in the platform.
Wow.
The give you a pre-built landing page that we've created and used multiple times that works incredibly well. So you're going to have this landing page built for you. All the ad, email, cold outreach scripts, you can copy and paste. And I'm going to skip through a lot of this stuff and get right into.
And so the content that you guys have created that we get to steal are all of these book summaries for, these business focused books, books that are attractive to executives and corporates. So you have done all the work and created these book summaries. We get to steal them. We get to steal your landing pages that you have tested to get between this 40 to 70% conversion rate. We get to copy all of that, use it all for our own lead generation. Amazing. I mean, I don't know. A lot of people are, listening here are either right at the beginning of their journey and they're just learning to create content, create lead magnets, create the funnels, create the sales pages. And it's, you're realizing just how big and how much hard work this stuff is. Those people who are listening who are already established know how much time it takes, how much cost it takes of your own time or using a contractor or a member of staff to create these book summaries or lead magnets, to create the landing page, to then put it out there into ads and hope that it converts. What I love about Grow It For Me is the fact that that lead magnet content is created. Years worth of it is already created in the Grow It For Me vault. So you can literally go in there, and I've gone into my vault, and there is hundreds of book summaries already created that as a Grow It For Me member, you can pick up, you can use, you stick it in that landing page template that's already built for that book summary, and boom, you just start sharing it and the leads come into your account. This is time saving, next level for fast track to the results that you want, those leads coming through. I mean, this for me is such an incredibly useful fast track system that, quite frankly, Steve, I wish I'd discovered you a few years ago, because I've been spending so much time creating all these lead magnets myself and all these sales pages myself. And, I could have saved myself, quite frankly, thousands of dollars, both in actual contractors and in my own time putting all this stuff together if I'd just gone straight to Grow It For Me. So this is exciting stuff, guys. And I do recommend you check this out. And Steve's going to go in and give us a little bit more of a behind the scenes how this works right now. But just keep this in your head. You get to get all these book summaries, not only for yourself, but also to use as lead generation yourself. Awesome.
Once again, Sarah, I'm gonna figure out how to bring you along with me every time I do one of these. You're awesome. So this is the basic workflow for how this works. Super simple. The opt-in page on the left is the same opt-in page that we've used to create that 40 to 70% conversion rate. The newsletter, so that jumps people into your weekly newsletter. All of the newsletter content is done for you. You then get to put folks into a portal that is completely white labeled for you and your brand. You get to upload your logo. So all of the content that they will be consuming is under your roof instead of ours. That gets them access to the book summaries. If you want, you can also send them to some weekly live micro courses that we produce and send you an affiliate commission back if anybody signs up for a corporate package or an individual package as well. So as this machine is running, we're doing a lot of the heavy lifting for you, not only on the front end, but also giving you all the content you need to deploy your newsletter in the program itself. There's also the opportunity for us to have your newsletter done for you completely from soup to nuts. So you can focus on driving traffic into your sales funnel. So super simple, super straightforward. It's plug and play. There's absolutely a very small amount of work you need to do in order to get set up. You can be up and running in less than 20 minutes.
I love it. Just in case anyone didn't get this bit right. So not only do you get to steal all of Steve's book summaries, you also get the actual landing page. You also have the emails written for you, right? He's already written the emails. You literally copy and paste it. This is absolutely insane. And look how much time and energy this is going to save. Most of us are expert in our topic. We're not expert copywriters. We're not expert landing page builders. We're not expert book summary writers, right? This is being done by people who are awesome at this stuff. They've tested it to make sure it works, and we just get to steal it. This is cool. All right, let's keep going. I'm excited. I love mine. I've got my Grow It For Me account. I mean, I'm in. By the way, anyone who does want to go check this out, Steve has really kindly given us a 50% discount. 50% off your first year. If you go to my affiliate link, sarahcorn.com/grow it, that will take you to a special page that will get you 50% off. I mean, as if it wasn't awesome enough already. Thank you, Steve. You guys rock for that very generous discount. I appreciate it.
It's our pleasure. I'm just going to actually quickly go back to one thing here that I want to just make sure folks get. Probably the biggest thing that I've learned through my career running this business and running a digital marketing agency is when you acquire a lead, some folks are going to do business with you right away. Some folks it's going to take years for them to eventually do business with you. And the trick is continuing to build this relationship over time, and it's producing enough content so that when they are ready to buy, you are there with your offer, ready to take their money. And so that's what a lot of folks struggle with, is how do we create enough content over time? And the second part of that is the content should change all the time. You find an offer that works and you get that in front of people consistently. So don't change the front end offer, don't change the back end offer, but change the content that gets delivered to them. That's kind of the secret sauce for all of this, because once you find a lead magnet that works, you're not going to want to stop using it. Once you find an offer that works, you're not going to want to stop using it. But the thing that keeps getting them back over time is that changing, always evolving content. And book summaries is a great way to do it because people keep publishing books, people continue to want to read them. So it's this never-ending treadmill of folks wanting to receive this kind of information, and it gives you the ability to get your offer in front of folks over time. So I just wanted to make sure we didn't miss that part, because that is the part that makes this entire thing work so well for you. So yeah, we've invested, Sarah's already said it, we've invested a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of effort into this. It works, it'll work for you. And all you got to do is plug and play with your audience, as long as you're trying to reach busy folks, executives, entrepreneurs. This is going to be a lead magnet and an offer that works incredibly well for you. So yeah, the first year is a little bit more than 50% off. There's a 30-day money-back guarantee. So one of the things we like to do is come in, kick the tires, get set up, start using it. And if you think it's not going to work for you, we'll give you your money back. One of the things that we know is that having you experience this before making a decision is sometimes important for folks. So we want to make sure that you're super happy with what you're doing, and that you don't have any buyer's remorse. Very few people take us up on this because it works so well, but just know that you'll have the ability to get your money back, no questions asked.
Just got a question on there, Steve, just to confirm that's US dollars, correct?
Yes, that's US dollars. One last thing, that if you're creating a course and you've got a course platform or you've got a learning management system, part of this offer is that you can actually take our content and embed it directly into that platform. You're basically licensing the content from us, so you can use it as both a lead magnet, or you can add it to a course you've created as an extra bonus for somebody that signs up for your course. It's for you to use as you want, and you can embed that in your platform. So you not only got a lead magnet, you've also got potentially a new product you can sell to your current and future
absolutely
clients.
Mind-blowing. And look, I always say to people, most coaches, consultants should be charging at least $200 an hour, right? If you're not, give yourself a pay rise, give you permission to do that right now. And if you basically look at this with the discount code that Steve's given you using my link there, that's basically 2 hours work. For 2 hours, the cost for 2 hours of your time, you can have basically the next unlimited number of years worth of lead magnets, course content, and email newsletters, nurture sequence emails, completely done for you. I mean, this is just a no-brainer. I think my poor one of my poor helpers may just be made redundant with this. I'm joking, staff. You're all safe, but you get the point here, right? When you understand, costs versus time saving. This is pretty amazing stuff. I mean, I'm dead excited. I'm going to be getting stuck straight into my account very, very soon. I've been in there for a little while, but just had last 6 weeks actually of Christmas holidays with the kids running riot. now they've gone back to school yesterday. It's my time today to go in and get into content. At the beginning of the year, the time I'm recording this now, most of us are going to be in a similar situation. We're planning our content for the year. We're planning our email nurture sequences. We're planning our upsell sequences. We're planning what new products we're going to be creating. I mean, this here is a game changer in terms of having all that content, those pages and those nurtures already created for us. Definitely go check it out. And thank you for that discount there, Steve. I mean, any final words, Steve, you'd like to leave with us there? I mean, you've definitely given us a really nice insight. One of the things I love about your team is that you guys also do those, you do very regular webinars for your users. You do, you have the option for people to jump on a call with one of your team to help get everything set up and working right. And the support that you guys have provided there, from my experience already, has been fantastic. So I love that. Anything else you want to leave with us for people that are thinking about using this to grow their leads?
Yeah, I think one thing is, like you pointed out, it's a lot of time you would otherwise have to invest in this, and just think about what else you could be doing with that time. So what results could you create for your business? It's not just about saving a little bit of money. This is about the results you could be producing, working on the value added parts of your business. So I think that's one thing to think about as you're considering whether or not you want to hop in and join our community. And then the last thing is we're building this to build a community of folks who are growing their business, and we're in this for the long run. We know how hard it is to be entrepreneurs, and so continuously over time we're evolving the product and the community to better serve course creators, consultants, coaches, and help them navigate and connect with the folks that they really, really want to serve, executives and entrepreneurs. And we think we know a thing or two about how to do that. We think it's a niche that we have found by accident over time, but we love being in this business. And yeah, if you do join, I'm looking forward to seeing you. And Sarah, it's always a pleasure to be with you. You're a ray of sunshine, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna figure out a way to bring you with me wherever I go.
I'm always up for a trip over your side of the world. So yeah, I'm down with that. We'll swap it for a glass of wine and a trip over east. Just got a question that's popped up, Steve. I know that we've got this is a very special offer. It is a limited time offer that you're offering here with the 50% off. Is there a strict deadline to that, or can we perhaps ask people to get in touch with us if they're watching this recording a bit later on?
Yeah, there's a deadline on this, but if you get in touch with us or with Sarah past the deadline, we'll figure out a way to make everybody happy. So yeah, if it's beyond the deadline,
right
reach
here.
out.
Legend bloke. Very good. All right, guys, if you do have any questions, if you're watching the recording, you've got questions, pop them in the comments below. Steve and I and Steve's team will be keeping an eye on the comments. So don't worry if this live stream is past. We will be there. We'll come back and answer any questions that get added below as we go along. So do go to that link, sarahcorn.com/grow it, if you want to have a look at the offer that's available. Otherwise, keep going, keep growing, and your dreams can come true. It just takes dedication, consistency, patience, and lashings of courage. Steve, thank you very much for your very late evening, for sharing Grow It for me with us all today. And I'm sure we'll see you around this area again soon.
Thanks, Sarah. Great to be here.
Bye for now. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.